Yeah, Raven, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I am so cooked. I'm going back to retired Lotus. Look at all these 700s before we even get into the 800s. Of course, it's a 19-player lobby. What is going on? Paw DK hasn't even played? Bro. What is going on? What is going on?
以刃之风，生命的飞羽以此羽翼，度月心生。
What even is this
战斗
fight?
技巧又精进一些。
Like, the boss takes so long to do its attacks. I think you're right. You just go fast as possible, right? 6, 7.
今日即备，运水何惧，缭乱生风。嗨，随花瓣起舞吧，要好好记下这个画面啊！繁星的丝线，连缀寻爱旅人的梦吧。落雨断空，凝滞，归途已定，生息不绝。
So, is Bronya Bronya's always going to be the weakest and therefore the one to skip? Will they do a part 3 after part 2 is over? Speculation is that they're going to do, like, side events and not have a formalized part 3. Right now, nobody knows. People have been speculating. I don't think this game is going to EOS like some of the other Doomers are talking about. I think this was kind of like Dawei's. This game holds a special place in Dawei's heart, right? It was what bankrolled Genshin's development, and I like to make the Blizzard analogy, where Blizzard, they had their Brood War and Warcraft 3 that led into World of Warcraft, and really that was kind of their mega hit that really blew up mainstream, right? And so Honkai Third is like Hoyo versus Warcraft 3. It was popular enough that it bankrolled Genshin, and Genshin took them mainstream. So I think on some level they're gonna want to try to keep supporting it. They just have to figure out how they can do it, one, efficiently, so that they're not spending too much on payroll for maintaining the game, and then two, figuring out how they can not repeat the mistakes of when they tried to do part 2, so that the game can be profitable again, I personally felt like the 9-week development cycle, the 8 to 9 week development cycle, was better for the game, because early on there were so many versions where, because they were trying to keep up that 6-week development cycle, they launched so many rushed versions that had really buggy things. Like, there was a lot of feedback that they just didn't execute on, and yeah, they kept the cadence of stuff, but everything just felt really rushed, and there was, like, you could kind of feel when the love was lost. So I personally didn't mind when they went to the 8-week version. I hope that they do go back to S rank every other patch, as long as they have, like, appropriate filler content in between, right? And this is kind of where, like, the old Honkai Third format of having, like, solid support characters be those A ranks, those SP A ranks, felt really good, because this is something Raid Shadow Legends actually does really well, where they give you a lot of filler characters, but if you know how to use them properly, they can advance your account like significantly. And that's kind of where old Honkai 3rd did really well. You had like all these like niche A ranks that yeah, you kind of had to grind a little bit, but you know, if you took the time, they could help carry you through so much content. And I kind of miss that. I like that things are a lot more, you know, new player friendly and like consumer friendly. But it also came at a cost, you know. And you'll see it in all the arguments cuz like Blue Archive right now, they're going through a gacha style change too. They're doing like the 50-50 at 100 pulls and then guarantee at 200. Whereas before you had the spark system. And so, you know, when part 2 happened, and especially going in from the 6-week to 8-week patch, one of the negative downsides was that, okay, the gacha's mathematically more favorable for you as a player, but now the whole process of pulling for a character is no longer exciting. You know, you can't get surprised with off rates that actually could be meaningful progression for your account. Everything, like all the gear gacha is just super boring now. You either you get it or you don't, and then everything in between you can just craft. Being able to craft the gear is really nice, but now you don't get like the huge surprises. I think some of you might have been there when we, you know, back in 2021 when I was visiting Florida, and we had that massive pull session, right? It was like, it was in the fall, so it was like mid-autumn. And I think like Vermilion Knight was back in rotation, and we were pulling for Azure Imperia gear, and I was missing a few welt pieces, but we had this one multi-pull that was like, it was like Nebulous Duality. No, I already had Nebulous Duality, so it was like Margrave, 2 pieces of Margrave, and the welt piece that I was missing. And you just don't get those big wins anymore. Oh yeah, the Prometheus beat, just, Yeah, this was also peak Hoyo mix, in my opinion. So, yes, your gacha minimums to build successfully, you know, the floor is now elevated for you, the player, in part 2. The gacha is just numerically more favorable to you. But the trade-off is now you don't get the big wins where you could just get like a bunch of off rates that are huge for the account. Because the argument is, you know, if you play long enough, you'll get all that old meta stuff anyways. Like today, we crafted a second Cezanne. We just bam! I'm missing a second Cezanne. Just craft it. Just craft it. My butt was so clenched for this. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough damage. +3? Okay, to be fair, I enjoyed the crap out of that Metroidvania double restaurant minigame that they had at the beginning of part 2. I thought that shit was so fun. Where you were a Dream Seeker doing the platforming Metroidvania Mega Man Zero type, just to farm for the ingredients for the cooking minigame, and then you had the cooking minigame. That was the best time of my life in part 2. That was my favorite part 2 event, hands down. Everything else could not hold a candle, except for maybe the Susang restaurant. The Susang restaurant was okay. But for me, the platforming boss fights were amazing. You had that lightsaber, you were like Zero in Mega Man X, and you were just like, hoo hoo hoo, you know? What was that one Metroidvania game, Bloodstained? You were that girl from Bloodstained by the end of that event, fighting that bat boss that they kept recycling. Actually, that shadow boss was actually kind of challenging the first time you fight him when you were underleveled and undergeared. Yeah, yeah, Sakusuke. We're all in some matrix. We're all in some quantum matrix data center underneath Mars. See, it all goes back to data centers. If they just didn't make... Oh, I tied Raven! Raven! Raven, explain! You just posted it! Well, me too! Please! Kill! Oh my god, 2 points. Dude, the drop, the score, the drop second is insane. I have S2. I'm not getting free damage. I even have a ranked weapon. Where's my damage? Why is my damage so bad? Quick, let me just make sure I actually train the S2 skills. That would be really bad. Do we need to start affix locking? Oh. Press buttons faster? Yeah, I'll try. 1 point! I don't think they should have tried to kill Coralie off to begin with. You know? I feel like they hadn't built up the stakes where, like... I feel like that was just a bad move. I feel like they should have gotten like a middle level power up. And if they were gonna off somebody, it should have been after their initial power up. So that later on we could get an even better S rank power up for both of them, you know? Part of the beauty of part 1 is we actually saw all the characters like go through like, okay, A rank awakened or you know, A rank augment or you know, like they had these really powerful in between battle suits between their starting position and their first Hersher form. And then from their first Hersher form, they get their second Hersher form, you know? There's like a progression. And in that progression is where we grow to care. I gotta figure out how to get just like a little bit more charge there, so that when I QTE back, I get I can just go into the pre-rot, the mini rot. Maybe on this in part 2 I need to do the Bronya combo ult combo. Is there enough damage where I can just like... No. Okay, so I do have to do like a couple of hits before I can't just QTE combo ult. I have to like combo weapon ult. No surplus energy though.
一同起舞吧，随花瓣起舞吧，沉醉在繁花之中吧，就让祝福的星光点亮芬芳的明日。落雨正以此语意。
800, please! Oh my god, that's a huge ult! 804! 803!
并肩作战的感觉。
Oh my god!
一切都令人安心。
Become speed! Honkai Woo! Oh my god, I'm still in 8th place! What the heck? Bro! 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. What is going on?
以认知以此语意，度月心声。静默。
It's like some buff is just falling off or something.
喜欢这飘飞的落花吗？落雨断空，静默。生命的飞羽，急掠不息。风起绽放。谢谢你帮忙，务必小心。落英玄武，一展纷飞。一同起舞吧，随花瓣起舞吧，想不想和我共舞一曲？爱的梦幻乐园，永不落幕。落雨正睡吧，在这片。
Do something! 806, oh my god. But a lot of the problem really is just like there's just not enough damage in the last phase. HI3, oh damn it. Wow, 813. The rotation is getting extra spicy now. Alright, I'm gonna take this one. And then we're gonna pray. Yeah! Yeah! Honkai Woo!
以刃之锋，以此语意，度月心声。
I'm wondering if I could have skipped that last combo. 812. Oh my god. My butthole is clenching so hard right now.
痛苦感睡吧，在这片安息的花园。听音要求。
Oh, Bronya with the ult! Do it! Do it now! Oh my god, it does no damage! Bro! It does no damage! I think I just have to do all the Bronya pings, man. I think I just have to do all the Bronya pings. Oh my god, it's so much over damage. Oh my god, but look how beautiful that finisher looks. I think that's still the same score. This better be enough damage. Oh my god, that's overkill with the QTE on. Night Check, hey! No, I haven't been the #1 streamer for the last 2 or 3 years. Nor has become the #1. I'm just a stubborn last man standing. Just camping in the directory when there's everybody else is moving forward with their lives. You know, fun fact, Nor is the only one among us Honkai 3rd streamers that actually got partnered on Twitch fully from just Honkai 3rd viewership. So that was one distinction that Nor has earned for themselves. $8.19! That was still a 1 pixel, Raven! Why did it work this time? Tsukiko, hey, welcome. Raven, make it make sense! Raven! Raven 621, make it make sense! 820! Oh my god. I'm missing just like a hair of damage at the end. I wish I could just find that 1 pixel of damage. No! 19 again! But does it kill clean? Okay, so maybe I gotta find places where I can sneak in like single attacks that don't cost time. Everything was like 1 second ahead, but the moment I tried to go for that extra chip damage, I didn't have the damage. Maybe I can try after the Sele pings, I do like 1 basic after that. Did you do it? Did you get the 820? Raven! Raven! 820 how? I don't know! I can't get there! But right here, this is what I'm talking about. I have to spam basics. Dodge into this. I guess Elysia being able to stall time is helpful. Oh, 821. Alright, so it worked. All the pings on Sele, 1 basic. And then ult. That's how tight that damage is. Holy crap. That's also true.
点亮芬芳的明日。听我指挥，立场展开。同步追踪，启动。
Huh? What just happened?
这一战是我们共同的胜利。
Twitch, clip that. What just happened? Bronya just shot it, and it killed. So if I just do, like, at the end, 2 pings on Bronya, switch back, ult. Finisher ult. That should be enough.
我会保护大家，一同起舞吧。一点也不痛啊！喜欢这飘飞的落花吗？听我0019，全武装展开，目标静默。以刃之风，睡吧，在这片安息的花园。绽放！谢谢你帮忙，务必小心。期待，好，潜游云，飞起来了！要好好记下这个画面啊！繁星的丝线，连缀寻爱旅人的梦吧。落雨断风，落烟玄武，一展纷飞，归途已定，生息不绝。一同起舞吧，随落花一同飞散吧。听我0019，全武装展开，目标静默，分布式狙击，挥散，看，刃蕊合聚，急掠不息。风起凝滞，睡吧，在这片安息的花园。谢谢你帮忙，务必小心。生命的飞羽，缭乱生风，痛苦该结束。一同起舞吧，随花瓣起舞吧，要好好记下这个画面啊！爱的梦幻乐园，永不落幕。听我指挥，立场展开。以刃之归途已定，生息不绝。
Don't drop second. Yeah, 824. Yeah.
大家平安无事。
Oh, could you imagine if I actually had the 987 opener? That could have been a 826 or something like that. But what if it's faster to not stay on Bronya? Well, that's how. Well, our 819 was not staying on Bronya, right? $990 is easy. $991 is hard, bro. I can't even 987 properly.